What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the Nerdgasm. We gotta talk about Marvel's latest project. And that is because I was like, oh man, it actually kind of set my mind. I was like, oh man, this movie is coming out. But we are going to be sitting here talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, I'm just letting you know right now. We will do our review. Just quick sums things up a little bit and about how we enjoyed the movie, what we liked, did not like about the movie, and then we're going into spoilers. But this is a podcast, all right? we gonna go into spoilers. I'm about to say swag. I already know we're going into spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I'll do this. So
only way we could talk about it.
Yeah. So Volume 3. Now, once again, I'll be honest with y'all. When Guardians of the Galaxy first came out, when he first announced this movie back in 2013, it's come out in 2014. I ain't know shit about the Guardians of the Galaxy. I seen it and it came out in one cartoon. The only thing about Guardians of the Galaxy I knew was Rocket Raccoon and the tree. That's what I used to call it. Rocket Raccoon and the tree. I ain't know shit else. I ain't know nothing about the Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, or all the other Guardians of the Galaxy that, they decided to put this team together. But when that first movie came out, I was like, this is dope right here. I'm enjoying all this.
It was fun.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it. That was one of my favorites from Phase 2. Then we go into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which, me personally, I understand everybody doesn't feel this way, but, film is subjective. But me personally did not live up to the first one.
I'll say that it didn't live up to the first one, but you left the theater. You was like, I can't stand it. I was like, okay. I watched it again, and I was like, it wasn't that bad.
And the funny thing is, to prepare for this movie, I did check it out again. I was like, man, it was just an overabundance of the comedy for me on this one. I was like,
I agree. I agree with that. It did up the comedy on that. It did up the comedy,
especially when
but it still had. Oh my bad.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but especially when we was dealing with some straight serious topics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, I get it, but everything ain't gotta be this fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of like Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, my God, you still haven't seen that yet, have you?
No, I watched the first 10 minutes and I'm like, I don't want to be disappointed. So I
have got to see it for me, bro. You have got to see it for me.
I don't think I could bring myself to do it. I honestly don't think
you gotta see it for me. So now we're at Volume 3, and I was just like, this is the Guardians I've missed. This is the Guardians that I couldn't wait to see. And I got everything is moving. We got humor, but we got emotion, we got stakes in a way. I was like, this stuff that Phase 4 has been lacking, in my personal opinion. And I was like, it felt as though like, hey, welcome to Marvel, return back to form. That's how I felt about this movie. So let's get right into it. So let's just talk about real quick the pros that we liked about the movie. And I'll start off by saying this is like a Rocket Raccoon movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It is a Rocket Raccoon movie, but because we had the first movie, which focused a little bit more on Drax than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Then we had the second movie that focused on Peter more than the rest of them, where this one was focusing more on Raccoon than the rest of them.
Exactly. And it's like it was giving us Rocket's backstory. I was like, oh man, I'm already into this, So I was like, because we don't know too much about Rocket. He never really mentioned it. Because all he keeps saying is, "I'm not a raccoon," but yes, you are. So let's.
Because he don't know what a raccoon is.
Exactly. That's what made it dope and stuff. So I like how they explored that and what his backstory was all about. And like I said, they be hitting the emotional beats on this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Before you go deep into it, can I just give my non-spoiler review real quick?
That's what I'm doing right now. The things we like, didn't like, and then we're going to the spoilers.
Oh, I meant just like overall thoughts. Then
yeah, sure.
talk about the pros and cons.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest. This is the best Marvel movie we had since Infinity War. This was great. This might be in my top 5 of Marvel movies. I enjoyed it that much.
If it ain't top 5, I'm just talking about me personally. If it ain't top 5, it's definitely top 10.
Because this was good.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is it. And I think, I guess we could get the pros and cons, because now that I'm thinking, my bad, I messed up your whole
It's quite all right.
I messed up your whole so you was getting the pros, right?
Yeah.
What the biggest pro about this is that, just like Wakanda Forever, how that was a Ryan Coogler movie first, this was a James Gunn movie first.
I can agree with that.
This really hit the formula that just makes him so great as a writer and a director. Yes. And you can tell he cares about these characters.
Exactly. That's when
he cares about them.
Yeah. I agree.
Also, like you said, the serious notes like really hit, and you know how serious notes always get out of nowhere with comedy, like they get butchered with the comedy. I don't mind that, because in this movie the jokes was actually funny. I was like, it works when it's actually funny, and I'm like,
you know what? They definitely don't watch Love and Thunder.
Oh my! I honestly don't want to watch that. Again, the first 10 minutes was so good, and I was like, I could feel where this is going. I could feel where this is going. And also, I just like how James Gunn stole from Samuel L. Jackson and Deadpool the first F-bomb of the MCU.
Yes.
And it wasn't just placed out of nowhere. It was placed in a situation where I probably would have said it.
I would have said the same thing. I was like, it fit it like a glove, not an OJ glove, like a regular glove.
I was fit. I understood. I was like, I feel you. I would have said it. I would have said it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Open the door.
Exactly.
Those are my pros right now. Unless you have more.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, I enjoy how, number one, this is a continuation from what happened at Endgame. I was worried about, okay, they're going to bring Gamora back, and are we going to still dance around the same line? No. I was like, they illustrated, this is a different Gamora.
Yeah.
And that's how the spoiler, it's in the trailers, and you know that from seeing Endgame and Infinity War. This is a different Gamora. I like how they kept with that. And I also like how they also, when it comes to all the members, including like Nebula and Drax, the issues that they have, and they like address it, like, you know, Nebula's anger or Drax being stupid or something like that. They address these kind of things. I was like, I never knew I needed that, but I liked it.
I think that's what makes this movie so complete.
Yeah,
this is the most complete movie from Marvel we've gotten in a while.
I agree.
Even Endgame didn't feel like Endgame still felt open ended. This one feels like it's wrapped up.
Endgame was meant for the Marvel fans and people who followed MCU for the past 10 years. Yes, that's what that was for. And it's still a good movie. I'm just saying, but that's what it means for. This just felt like a complete thing. Like, this is how I'm going to end my trilogy,
right?
Before I go over and be the competition, and I'm cool. I was cool with that.
This gives me more hope than the Superman movie.
I agree. Some of the things that we didn't like. Do you want to start?
So it's a weird thing to say I didn't like it, but I feel like it should be addressed.
I think we're about to say the same thing.
I feel like we're not.
Okay.
Because I think I like something that I feel like you're going to bring up that you didn't like.
It's okay. It's been that long.
But one thing, because I just feel conflicted about it. You could tell with this movie, Gamora wasn't supposed to die in Endgame or Infinity War. If that makes sense.
So damn Russo brothers.
It's like they did it. James Gunn was like, "Yo, what you do? Like, why not you?" And they was like, "Okay, my bad. We'll bring her back." Like, no, this isn't the same. This isn't the same. That's like me asking for a burger from Burger King. You come back with a chicken sandwich.
This isn't the same. Is it good though? But
no, this isn't what it is. And I feel like I could just tell from the script. I was like, this wasn't supposed to happen. This was not supposed to happen. And I feel like James Gunn was slightly annoyed by it, but it was like, I just got to work around it. And I think he worked around it very well.
Yeah, that's how they felt about Star Wars.
Man, that Last Jedi missed everything.
The host is like, what's happening here? Like,
I was like, we got robbed. We got robbed as a black community. We got robbed. We're having John Boyega as a Jedi. Mm-hmm. We got robbed.
Yeah, it wasn't happening for us.
You didn't see the Rise of Skywalker, did you?
I feel like that, like you feel about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay, cool. I was about to say, we just neglect those.
Yeah, I was
trust
like,
each other's word.
I don't want to see that, Joe. And
let's just trust each other's word.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. One of the things, okay, so you are probably right, because one of the things I felt was a letdown was Adam Warlock.
I actually liked him the way he was.
I'm not mad at the way he was. Mm-hmm. I'm mad that he felt like I felt as though if you take Adam Warlock out of this movie, nothing changes.
I agree, but I also feel like it's like James Gunn had a plan and Marvel messed it up.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was about Adam Warlock. I'm just look. And here's the thing: Will Poulter, excuse me, is an excellent actor.
Yeah,
like he made me hate him for 2 years. Okay. You gotta be a great actor if you can make me hate you for 2 years. But
right.
I was like, oh, this would be a great cast. I want to see how this. And I thought he had an excellent introduction.
Right.
I know he had an excellent introduction. I felt as though it was like you dropped the ball with it. But we get more into that in the spoiler territory. I felt as though that was there, and I felt as though sometimes, even though as excellent as a movie this was, mm-hmm. Marvel ain't gonna pull that trigger, bro. And I'm like,
which trigger are you talking about?
You know what trigger I'm talking about.
I actually don't know.
Okay.
It might be spoilers, so I'll just wait till we get.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I'll just say this: the Rhodey trigger.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they don't pull that off that. I'm not saying you have to do that in all of your content and things like that, but I am saying that it does, help out. Sometimes it does bring some weight, some gravity to certain situations, and I felt as though on some occasions I was like, okay, cool, sure, but other than them two things, really, you ain't gonna get that many gripes out of me.
There's honestly nothing I really like. I was going to like.
Excuse me.
Like I do. Part of me wish that Adam Warlock was the main villain. The High Visionary was such a dick.
I
was like, there's two types of villains. One you like that is like, I don't want him to go, and then the other is like, I kill him with everything you got.
The High Evolutionary is like, first of all, I love the actor because he's from Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So James Gunn is like, and he's a good actor, and he has a name that if my wife was here, she would be able to pronounce it. So I'm not even gonna sit here and embarrass myself right now. So but he as an actor, he's great.
Right.
What I'm saying? But I was just like, the High Evolutionary started off dope. And then I felt as though he went from being a very calculated and no mercy type villain to screaming matches. And it's like everything was so calculated to the point where it's just that he went from damn High Evolutionary that's just supposed to be he in God mode, right? And then he just gets panicking at the end, and he just started like you just go crazy, start yelling, and I'm like, bruh, you're just gonna let everything go away for this one thing? Like,
so I feel like that's more of a character of someone having a God complex.
Yes.
And that falls in line with him great. Because people with God complexes act just like that.
Yes. Fair enough.
When one thing doesn't go their way, they're like, I am pissed. And everyone got to die.
Yeah, well,
and you just lose control. So I was like, I felt that was very consistent with his character.
Okay, yeah. So that is how we felt. That was our non-spoilers. If you do not want to hear any spoilers, okay. Well, right now you're on the podcast. You're going to listen. But I'm saying on the video version, you know, we'll cut that part out. So, are we ready to give our grades?
Yes.
Okay. Since you haven't been on the show in a while, Swag, where do you rank this movie? Like
the highest I can give a complete nerdgasm. I can't yell; it's too late. I don't want to.
I understand.
I don't want to wake anyone up.
Neither do I, but I still want to give it a complete nerdgasm.
This I want to see this again. This was a great movie.
Yeah, look, right now when it comes to like complete nerdgasms, this and John Wick Chapter 4 have been my nerdgasms this year.